Right, welcome to Lockdown Workshop. Sunday evening, just for point of reference, day before the Queen's funeral. Chickens are outside, still daylight. It's about 6:15. Yeah, what can we say about that? So you'll see this on other videos, but it's in pieces again. Drive chain snapped. So parts are on order. They'll get fixed. I know what caused it. I've fixed that. It was some end play on that roller there, which we've now got rid of by packing it with some nylon washers. So all we need to do is just put that together, and then we can use that again. So what are we going to crack on with tonight? We're going to shift that out of the way, push it over there. I'm going to move all the wood that we were working on out of the way over there, and then we are going to crack on with these two beauties down here. So that one there, the giant, has got a rear wheel bearing, which actually doing a bit of research, it's a common problem with these. So I'm going to have a look at that, but I did notice that the bearing retainers were actually loose when I came to take the bike off. So that wouldn't have helped either. So I'll drop a bit of liquid thread lock on, and I've actually invested in bought some proper spanners. I bought an entire set of spanglers. They're the bearings for it. And then we've got the white that belongs to the same person. And that needs a bottom bracket bearing doing. It was a bit graunchy last time, but it's completely gone now. There's loads of play in it. So we're just going to do a bearing casing swap on that one. He's actually said he wants me to stick it in the, where's it gone? I've got a Saint shell that we can use. So we'll stick them in there. I've got the bearings already for them. They're a standard size. We'll chuck them in. And then he's also asked me to keep an eye out for some ceramics, and then we'll switch them for ceramics eventually. And that will then be like that one, because that one's running ceramic. I swapped the shells out, stuck some ceramic ones in there. I'd thought I got a spare set of part-use ceramics that I put in one of these, but then took them out and used them. So I possibly already used them on another project, but I can't for the life of me remember which one. But we've done so many bikes this year, it's unbelievable. So what that's doing out of there. So what we'll do first, we'll have a quick tidy up, probably put it on time lapse because we always do a little time lapse. We'll juggle everything back round again. We'll get all the workshop machinery shoved. Gonna have to keep an eye on that. That explains now I've caught it doing it. For some reason, it keeps switching from the radio mic I'm using, that thing there, and that thing there, and there's something on top of the camera you can't see. It's up there. And weirdly, every now and again, it keeps switching back to the internal mic and ignoring the little dongle I've got on the side. But I have bought a new DLSR camera, an upgraded version of the one I had before that actually has mic support. So we might have another go with that. If you remember, we did a few the other day. Still trying to work out where that chain ended up to get absolutely worn to buggeries. I suspect it's on there, but we'll see. Anyway, right, we digress. Let's shift this thing out of the way. We'll probably put it on time. That's it. I think the trick is when the camera's been turned off, you have to unplug it and plug it back in again. The video mic bit, the wireless mic. Right, so what we got with this one? Back bearing's got some play in it. Yeah, it's quite substantial. I've already had it up, taken it off and had a quick look at it just to get the bearings. So we've ordered the bearings already, which I may have just cleared up. Oh no, they're here. Awkwardly, two different sizes, neither of which I've got in stock, but there you go. One's for one side, one's for the other. They're a funny one. They're an LLS bearing, LLB bearing, but effectively that just describes the rubber seal on there. There's probably going to be loads of comments saying, no, you've got it wrong, you muppet, but that's my understanding of it, and it's the equivalent of the 2RS that we normally have in them, so they should be okay. We'll get them sorted out. Why does this microphone feel like it's poking me under the neck? So what we're going to do now is just drop the back wheel off. Why? It's not what it should be. There we go. Yeah, she's back where she should be now. Right, so we'll just drop the back wheel off. We'll get the back block off, and then we'll whiz it out. Quick release hubs. Now, one thing I did notice with this, and I think I mentioned it earlier, was that the actual end caps for the bearings were actually, one of them was loose. It was finger tight, so you shouldn't be able to do that, because what happens was then that one was backing off as well, and I suspect that's what's happened. I don't know, you can't see that. I'm still pointing you over there. So that cap there was loose, and the cap underneath was finger tight, and there was a lot of lateral play in it. So I suspect that's what's been causing the problem, or caused the problem. I have looked online, and there is a lot of noise about these hubs on various implementations where Giant have used them. It is a Giant, it's a branded Giant hub, but it's a Formula is the manufacturer. So Formula are usually known for making mountain bike gears. I think I had some Formula Oros on one of mine, F1s on one of mine, but that's the bottom line. So what we've got to do is pop all this lot out, and then stick the new bearings in, and that'll be it. So I'll take you over to the bench. So back on with the sews again. Let's just crack this out. I have slackened this off already, so it can come out finger tight. And because it looks a right acky mess, we're just going to go and chuck that straight in the parts washer and leave that to soak on gas mark 5. Yeah. I've already popped the dust seal out from doing it before. We've managed to save it, so we can reuse that. But you should buy them. But can you get them anywhere? Can you buggers? I'm gonna leave that on. I normally hate those things. They're a nightmare. They just look absolutely scruffy. Let's just see if I can move this mic, because it is rubbing under my chin, so it probably sounds awful. So what we'll do is we'll try clipping it on there so it's not rubbing under my chin all the time. Is that better? It feels better. Right, so the problem we got with these was that was loose and it's still finger tight, so we'll crack them out now. I'm doing it the wrong way around for you. Let's chuck all the bits all over. So like with most of these things, when you take them out, put them back together straight away, otherwise you're going to be rewinding the video. Or if you're not, but take pictures while you're doing it. It does only come out one way. It does only come out the drive side way, which is quite useful, because usually it's that bearing there that goes for some reason. Probably because the other one's buried deeper in, that it's less likely to get, and it gets all the muck and oil from the chain. So we'll just squeeze that up. There we go. And we will get that out now. So there's several ways we can do this. We can either draw it out, or we can use a bearing puller. I'm inclined to have a go with the bearing puller. I'm not sure how much of a lip I've got on that though, that's the only thing. So we will give it a go. Bearing puller. I think it's this box here. No, I don't think it is that box there. I think it's possibly that box there. Don't you dare. Hey! I think it's this one. Oh, I could be wrong. Could be the other one. So this is these are bearing pullers. It's got a set of fingers with a ridge on the outside, and as you drive that in, it forces the fingers back again. Right. Yeah, the microphone adapter appears to be playing hell with the camera's software. I did check the other day, and there's no update for it. Right. So just bear with me 1 second, because I know this already. So I don't know why I've run straight into that. There is a retainer. I already know this because I've seen it. Let's see if we can get it out. No. Just to be awkward. Just wang that back that off. Right, so there is actually a retainer in there. So I just need to try and pop that out of the way. So I think there's a retainer there. Could be wrong. It looks like there's a retainer there. No, there isn't a retainer there. The retainer was on the other side. The retainer was on that side, I think. Over here, though, we will get that out. Use as small a blade as possible, and it should just pop out. There we go. Nope, no retainer. I don't know what I was thinking of. I don't know why I thought there was a retainer in there. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was the bottom bracket shell that had the retainer in. See, I can now, I've got a choice with this one. I can try and drive this out upwards, or I could actually knock it through from the other side. Now I do have some other bearing extractor kits to have a go at if this doesn't work, but usually one hard smack gets it out. There you go. A little bit of play on that one. I don't know if you can see that. So this isn't usually the one that causes the problems. Now it is possible to remove that, but you have to unscrew it from the other side. So there is actually another bearing in there as well, but we're not going to get into that because I don't believe there's a problem with that. Why have we swapped these round? I don't know. I knew it was going to fall down. It had that look of something that was going to fall down. Right, so we're just going to knock that one out. Same process. Should be the same bearing size. Why does that always come undone? I have no idea. Let's see if we get as lucky with this one. Oh, nearly. It's always one that's awkward. Yeah, it's going. Sometimes it's better just to let gravity do its thing. Yeah, it's a bit of play on that one too. They're not graunchy, but there's just play, and I suspect it's normally they go graunchy when the grease has gone. You've had ingress of water into the bearing, but don't believe that's the problem with these. I suspect it's just they've worn because they've been allowed to move backwards and forwards and they've floated, so it's just put undue wear on them rather than they've gone manky. So all we need to do now is get the new bearings, which I believe are floating over here. This is the point where it's worth checking the bearings that you've just bought to check that they are a good match. Yep, perfect. Don't mix them up. I think it's slightly different because I think these are different colour coded. I don't know if there is an in and out. Normally, as a rule, I generally put the writing, the registration number for the bearing to the outside. Right. So we're going to do this the nice way or the hard way. I do have a set of. I have a bearing install device. I've also got some stuff over here as well that's a bearing kit, but this is more aimed at bottom brackets. There's a couple of other bits and bobs in there. There's a bottom bracket spinner there as well for spinning the bearings out. So there's all sorts of stuff. Now this might be some use because it's got templates, and some of these might fit the bearings that we are going to be doing. But like I said, these are more aimed at bottom brackets. But if you're after a plate to go over the bearing, you never know. But I don't think any of them go down small enough. Nope. So we will leave the bearing press extractor kit over there. Need a little bit of oil, and also it's always best just to give these a quick clean out just in case there's any debris dropped in. Because otherwise you're just going to be seating the bearing into a pile of crud, will give the... it's got an interesting line on it. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have a look at the brake pads. I wonder if he's worn through his brake pads. They're getting a bit low. You might want to have a look at them. Job for another day though, I think, that one. Yep. Just out of curiosity though, so I know for next time. How do you get this one out? So it's got some very strange head configuration in there. So these normally screw out. So you've got to work out where they screw out from. Now, that piece in there, I've got a tool for going in there that hooks into those and unscrews it. But that just gets access to the bearings behind there. I don't believe it will get the hub out. It does look like there is a hex of some description at the back of there, so we'd have to use a rather big hex key. So, or sometimes you can use a bolt head if you get the right size. Just have a look, see what I've got in the utility drawer. That's the biggest one I've got. Now, sometimes if they're a 12-pointer, you can get away with using a 6-pointer, or you're pretty much buying their tool. Now, we're nowhere near with that one. We are miles off, which is a shame. So it's just for future reference if we do ever lose the freewheel on these, because apparently the freewheels are fairly ropey as well. So that's something else to bear in mind. Just check that one. No. So that one and only other thing we can try is a... Oh, actually, I forgot I'd got that really big juicy one. Oh, you beauty. Right. So that does fit. So that's one we bought for doing a motorbike. So it's a big or a medium? No, it's a big one. Yep, that's plenty of purchase on that. So again, it's a 6-pointer. That's a 12-point socket in there. They're like a Torx bit or a star bit, but it's a 12-pointed one. So that's interesting to note that that fits. So just for future reference, I could get this off if I needed to. Right, let's stick it all back together now. So which one comes out of which hole? I think that one. No, that one didn't go in that hole. That one went in that hole. So we'll do this one first. Well, actually, technically, we could do them both at the same time. As long as we have the right bits on here, and it can reach through, which is the most important part of it. Nope, bit smaller than that. So that's the small one, isn't it? That one will do it. Yay. And a... So the question is, can we make that get all the way through? And the good thing about these is because they're nylon, they won't damage the bearing surfaces. So Mike died again. Right, so what size is that? Looks like it's a 6. Could be a 5. No, I was right first time, it's a 6. All I've got to do is play hunt the 6. So that's a 6. Could be. Right, so all we're going to do is just wind it in. I don't know if you can see that. That's going in. Then we'll get to a point where it won't go any further. Back it off, and then we'll do the other side. Just get a quick visual inspection, make sure it's gone all the way in as far as you remember it was in before, and it's in straight, looks like it is. Then we can just drop that in as well. Now what I will do is I'll put a bit of red grease around that, and I'll also knock it in with a socket. See if we can get a bigger one than that. Not that big. What's that, 19 that's broken? Let's try a 20. No, 20's due. Seem to remember we had this problem last time. That'll do. That's it, she's in. Grease. Stand up you. Now you can use special rubber lube on these, but to be honest, it's not worth it. It's just, all you need is just a bit of rim of grease around the seal. So it just helps the seal run on the socket. It's the only time you would use red grease to grease a seal bearing is to grease the seal. Right, let's flip it over, do the other side. Same again, grease up the bearing. Just check it's the right one. Yep, that looks happy. It's almost dropping in, that one. Might be able to push that one in with my fingers. No. Right, so same again. It's not the right size. Well, a little bit bigger for that one. Oh, then. Right, just to protect the seal, I'm going to try and drop that on the other side of that, and then we'll see how we go with that one. I just want one slightly bigger. No, not happy with that. What's this one look like? Oh, that's spot on. So we did have the right one. Use that one. And then I will put a bigger one on here that sits on the outside of that race, and it doesn't fit. Okay. No. No. There we go, we'll do that. Always an answer. Just using that across there, so that way I'm not putting any pressure on the seal that's in there. This will be all right because it's that runs in against there. There's actually a shim in there that stops you from tightening it up. So all I'm doing is running it against the shim. I'm not running it against the bearing. I know this because I stripped one of them down recently, and a right roll faff they are too. So again, I'll try and do this so you can see where we're going. It would help if we were in line, because at the moment just centre it back up again now we've got it moving. I think that's it. Yeah, so you can tell it wasn't running on the bearing because that was still spinning round. You've always got to think about you not putting any pressure on the axles or the bearings. Yeah, that looks like it's fine. That's all the way in. That's spot on. And we'll put the grease on this time before we drop it in because that might be easier. If we do it like this, it should squirch out anyway. Is that a word, squirch? I've got my greasy mitt. There you go, that's perfect. Going in there. No, it hasn't squirted out. So we'll just run a bit more in there. so it's got something to run on. Right, so we just need to drop these back in now and hope we got them the right way round. I will actually, while we're here, stick a bit of liquid thread lock on these. And the same for the ones on the other side too. So we'll do that with them. So this is where I need the spanners, because these are a really awkward size. One's a 19, which is the big blue spangler I've just had hold of, that I was waving around. I've left it over here. Nope. Still recording? Yeah. Right. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So one of these is a 19. I think it's that one is the 19. Yep, that's the 19. And then I think we need a 17. So I was hacking holes in them. It would be really helpful. That's the 19. 16. What now then? Was it 16 or 17? I can't remember. Nope. 17. 18. 13. 17. We'll get there eventually. Pew. Come on, there we go. Right, went black screen on me. Didn't like that. So, yeah, where were we? We're just going to pop these out. I think that was a 16. And then we needed another. We needed another one to pop that one off, which we don't have, but we do have some of these that I ground to get me another 17 somewhere. Or is that a 19? No, it's this one. That's the one I ground out. So we've still got, I didn't buy two 17s, even though I could probably do with them, but I've got that I modified. And you can see there's a lot of crap on that. So what we will do is we will just drop some liquid thread lock on there. If I can get it off. There we go. There's this one that's got a locking mechanism on it. So stick that in there. Stick that on there. Shall we get a good solid one this time? And then this goes into here. Now I can't remember which way round it goes. I think it goes this way round. Yep, because you won't be able to put it in. Just need to make sure that's actually sitting in the rubber seal. It is. And then all we've got to do is just drop these on. Same. Boom, back again. Yeah, it died again. So I've taken you off the mic now, because I'm just sick of reloading it at the moment. So I'll just stick some liquid thread lock across here again. So first one on is that one. Can you see what I'm doing? Now what I need to do is make sure this is properly tightened up. So this is the 17 and the 19. Right, that's it. Just tweaked it. We'll stick a tad more thread lock on. So we're going to use this 17 and the 19, and we're just going to drive it down. But you've got to be careful, because I've noticed then it was unwinding it. Just need to keep an eye on what's going on with that back one, because you'll see if I'm twisting the central axle, I'll see that one move. It's moving. Because when it's moving, it's undoing. So this is what I suspect's been happening with all of these. Now there is a way of getting around this. You've got to make sure that the one on the other end is done up properly. If you just drop it into a vice, soft jaws on as well so we don't damage anything, because we're just there just hold it steady and we're not using any force on that bit. So again, we just need to back that off. Do that up by hand. Again, to make sure that it's in. Keep an eye on that central axle. Still spinning. I have to put it in the so that's it, that's okay, that's nice and smooth. Now so what we're going to do is just tighten that up. It's now a bit too tight, it's gone the other way. Oh, watch your knuckles on them, because they will bite. It's gone too far the other way. Faff! Where'd you get that stuck on there? So, it's flipping moving it every time. more vice on this because they weren't gripping last time on them soft jaws. Let's crank that off. Do that back up finger tight. Crank that down on top and go again. Absolutely flipping solid again. See, it's supposed to pull inwards, not downwards, so I don't know why it's cranking down. Nope, tight again. This is very odd. I can see why they were having trouble with these things. The other thing you can imagine is this outer one is pinching down on it. It's still too tight. Nope, too tight. That's better. Just going to give it one last check. What I want to get is I don't feel any play. That's much better now. No play. Right, I'd say that's a good one. So let's stick the let's clean the cassette up and stick it on. You don't need to. Reassembly time. Right, as per usual, let's find the thick one. There we go. There's the thick one. Boom, straight on. right into the outside, thick one. Thick one. Thick one. Thick one. Thick one. Just in case you're wondering, you can only put them on one way round because they're indexed. And one of them is thicker than the others. These are Shimano and SRAM, pretty much use the same system, though they do have slightly different hubs, but they are compatible with each other. Just got to find the thick one. There we go. You have to be careful with this last one because it is actually possible to fit it on in the wrong place, but when you crank the washer down, potentially you'll damage it if it's not in the right place. Just make sure I've picked up the right one. That's weird. Oh yeah, it is. It's not SRAM, this one. It's Shimano, isn't it? It's weird. For some reason, it's an Ultra bike, but they've put a 105 block on it. That is a bit naughty because I bet you they sell it as an Ultra group set. Let's have a look. Yeah, everything else is Ultra. Let's have a look at them. Ultra 105 back block. That, Mr. Giant, is a little bit naughty. Because I'm pretty sure this bike hasn't been swapped out. Come on, it's under here somewhere, and I know it is. There it is. So you don't have the same problem you have with the quick release skewers, where you have to centre it because there's a lot of play around that. On these, the gap round there is a lot tighter, so they tend to find it stays where it's supposed to. I will do as I normally do and stick a strap around it. I would advise you do that because it takes the pressure off the gears, so that instead of spinning it on the freewheel ratchet, you are cranking down against that torque wrench. 40 Newton meters. Right, I have to remember after chat there because I'm not on the speaker, I'm not on the microphone. So just check this is still set to 40. It's pretty much the only thing I use it for. 40, and it should say on there as well, 40 Newton meters. Or if you're in Germany, Guten tight. It's going to be awkward, it's not ratcheting. Oh no, it's ratcheting. That's it. I'll give it a quick spin, just check everything's good and you've got all the spacers in the right place, which I haven't, so I've got to now take it off again. Spot what's wrong. Here at the Lockdown Workshop, we do it right because we do it twice. I don't know how I managed to do that. That one. Find the fat one again now. There we go. One, and where's it gone? That one. There we go. Oh no, it's just being awkward. There we go. Don't force this one, whatever you do. If it's not in, it's not going in. Let's try that again. That looks a bit better. Bearings are nice. Right, let's get it back on the bike tool, because I forgot about this. It's absolutely minging. Oh, that's interesting. So how do you use the magic tool on a through hub? I don't know. Shall we find out? That's a bit of a pain. Can you use the magic tool on a through hub? No. All is not lost, because you can always do that. Just stick it straight through, because the chain will hold it in position anyway. So God, that's awkward. That's it. We've got a stiff link on there as well. No, it's just jumping up from that. Right, done that there. Right, let's just clean these out, because they are absolutely filthy. Where's my squirty bottle? Of the squirty stuff. A bit around this side as well, because they are absolutely properly minging. Look at the state of this. The person whose bike this is does not look after it. I tell you now, this bike normally gets cleaned within an inch of its life, so actually it's quite amusing. I found some gunk that's been missed. So that's that a bit out. So we're just clearing the. There's just a, it's just a build up on the gears. Look at a small rodent. I'm recording, George, yeah. Say hello. Say hello to Facebook. Sorry, it's not Facebook, YouTube.
If you want something to fix that isn't a bike, okay, so whenever I press the button on this, I have to bash it against the wall several times for it to work.
I see, wow. Maybe that's how it's supposed to function.
I don't think it is. I don't think having to use percussive maintenance actually.
Percussive maintenance. There's a... It's completely opposite from me. If you have to hit it, something's wrong. His natural approach to everything is you have to hit it. Right, hopefully... Let's just... I hate clean... It's official, I hate chain cleaners. Because it's just nothing but absolute faff. Right, let's see if we can get this one to work. I don't know if there's enough liquid in now to tip half of it on the floor. don't be starting that game, or I'll put you back on crossbar. In fact, I'm going to put you on the crossbar now, because you're annoying me. Just going to stick some more slop in here. You don't need to see this, because I'm going to tip it all over the side like I normally do. Oh, no. Call that as a result. So this is Old Faithful. I might go and order another one of these actually, because it's the only one I've not managed to completely smash to smithereens. It is broken. It's got a crack in it. Oh, he's back again.
Do you want a drink? Tea, coffee or chocolate?
No, I'm alright, thank you, Josh. He's after something, by the way. No, I haven't turned the internet off. Though I suspect I'm doing some uploading of some files, and I suspect I've knocked the internet out for them. So I'm just run the chain off. You've seen me do this loads of times. Oh, look how much cleaner that is now when it's done properly. Actually, what I haven't done is check this. It's got that flipping horrible lube on it. You can tell because it's not coming off. God, I hate that stuff. You have to ban it. It just doesn't come off, and all it does is just hold crap on your chain. This might actually need some carb cleaner. Not a job for me though. Wayne can do that. I know it's going to be stuck on all the teeth on them as well. Right. Let's stick the back wheel on. Oh, one thing we haven't done actually with this bike. Let me do it now before I forget. I haven't actually checked the chain on it. That's good on that one. There's loads of miles left on that. I don't think he uses it a great deal, to be honest. One thing I will do though is I'll just give the I will just give that a quick once over. That's brake cleaner I've just used, because I've obviously had my sticky mitts all over this while I've been covered in grease, and I've been running it round on the side as well, so it won't hurt, and you can see how much muck's coming off. Like I said, I think next year it's probably going to want some brake pads on it anyway, next time we get it in here. So got mucky fingerprints on his plastic bit. What are you? Right, let's just move you back a bit. Remove my contraption. So we made lives easy for ourselves. We put it in the bottom ring. I've managed not to accidentally activate the brakes, so oh, look at that. Perfect. I'm really pleased with that. there you go. Job's a good one. I was going to try and get 2 videos done with 2 videos on both bikes tonight. It was one a big hole in there. But that obviously took a bit longer because there was a fair bit of faffing went on with it. I've got mucky fingerprint. Well, he's going to have something to do. There was a fair bit of faffage went on there. What size are them tyres? .25s, I thought so. You're much better off with some 23s. Anyway, oh, look at that. And nothing now. Brilliant. Bottom bracket's good. Pretty sure we checked the headset anyway. Yeah, that's good. Everything else is spot on with this. So that can go back. He's packing it away for the winter now. He's done racing for the summer. Oh, I've got some right mucky fingerprints on there. Never mind, give him something to do. So we'll call that a wrap there. Remember, like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Please don't put that stuff on your chain. Winter lube is the work of the devil. It just ruins your components, right? Use just light engineering oil. I've shown you before. It cleans off. If it's black and shiny, it's fine. If it's black and dull, it needs cleaning off because it's got muck and grit in it. If it's clean like that, it's spot on. That will put I will put a drop of oil on that. You don't need a lot, so we'll just run it round once. That's all it needs, and then you can actually rub that off now. A non-wet bit in the cloth. Run that off, and that's all you need. So all it needs. Clean it regularly with that. You won't have all that crap build up on there. Your chain will stay fresher for longer, and that's job's a good one. This one can go back to the owner. All I've got to do is do the mountain bike, and then you can come and collect them. So remember, like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. I will try and get some motors in over the winter. I've got all the lawnmowers. I think I said this last time. I've got all the lawnmowers to service. I was working on a little project to get something special in for the winter. God, they're still getting that stuff off there. It just will not come off. It's just awful, that stuff. Yeah, I was going to have a little project for the winter, but it looks like it might not come off now because circumstances have changed, and I don't actually need another bike at the moment, because I was going to sell the Zip 50 and buy something else with a little bit more poke, but I could still use for commuting. But I'm about to change jobs, so I might not need that one anymore. But anyway, we digress. Like I said, hit like and subscribe. Put some comments down the bottom if you want to give me some feedback. What do you like, what you don't like? And thank you for subscribing, for those who have subscribed. Job's a good one.